What about the Indian market?
I'm very proud to say that we are the first people who had the courage to do something for the Indian market for the first time. Okay. We produced Tenali Raman. This is the first.
Here we have him with us.
Tenali Raman, yes. This is the first animated television series for the Indian market.
Produced by an
Indian company. This was a huge hit from an audience perspective because it's the first time they see an Indian character on the air. Even today, all the cartoon channels, 95% of their content is foreign content.
Right.
Okay, only 5% is Indian content because they can't afford to produce Indian content because of the cost aspect of it. Okay, so we have gone ahead. We learned a lesson from it. Okay. The lesson is that it is great. It is all of us guys are passionate about India. We are an Indian company. We wanted to do something for India. It's a huge financial mistake. Even today, after 10 years, we haven't recouped our money back on Tanada. So we realized that we need to come up with a different business model in order for us to come up with Indian subject. So we developed a technology which is not really animation, I would say, which is, I would say, motion comics technology, where we limit Hanuman to a certain extent, but Shiva.
Okay.
If you really look at Tales of Shiva, if you really look at those things, not too many animation. It's a kind of technique which I wouldn't say that we have invented it. Real inventors are Japanese. So the Japanese developed a technique which is called anime. They use only 4,000 drawings per half an hour. Okay. So what they do is they just used action poses and strong layouts, and they create a very effective kind of thing. Today, 95% of what Japanese make is for their own industry. So they created a huge industry. So we wanted to do something on that. So we were successful about that. And also, what happened over a period of time is the market also matured a little bit. Today, cartoon channels are willing to pay probably 10 times high than that of they paid to us on Tenali Raman. Okay, so industry is maturing. In between, we also had success on Hanuman as a feature film.
Right.
This is also an experimentation. Nobody have ever done an animated feature film on Indian thing. So we produced with Hanuman. Hanuman was a success. We were able to not only recoup our money, we were able to make profit on it. So that really gave us a thing that yes, there is money to be made from India. I think my view is that India is the world's largest kids population. 300 million kids, okay, in India. So I have a huge belief in India. Okay. So what we are now doing is we are very aggressively looking at Indian market. In the last 1 year, we produced probably 5 or 6 different series and movies. We did a cricket series with Disney. We have done 3 movies with Cartoon Network. We are producing a series with Nickelodeon. We are producing a very big animated movie project with Hrithik Roshan and Filmcraft. This is based on Krish. We are producing 3 TV series. So suddenly, this becoming a very important part of our business, and we believe in it. And I think what we are also seeing is, like I mentioned earlier, the shelf life. So now Tenali Raman, we are now selling it second time and third time to various others. So if you create, this is a real estate. If you create this real estate in a proper way, in a nice way, I think audiences will be there, and you can actually make money in perpetuity. So this is going to be a big cash cow for us.
You started off as a finance manager, moved on to being a chief financial officer, and then the CEO of the company.
Correct.
So this is a different journey.
Sure.
So will you share your experiences, your personal experiences on that journey?
Sure. I was, it's very interesting. I'm a physics graduate, BSc Physics. That's how it started. And I took a professional course in chartered accountancy. I was lucky in terms of having a gentleman called Mr. Neelakanta Iyer. He was my CA, because those days you need to do the articleship, during the time of your studies. So at that point in time, he was one of the very prominent chartered accountant, and he was having very high profile clients and with very little staff. The very next day I completed my course, I joined the Water Authority. So it was kind of, and as the finance officer. And I was part of the a separate unit called socio-economic unit, which was basically doing the World Bank and bilateral funding, which is funding from Netherlands government and Danish government and the World Bank and all. So it's a special section which basically into sanitation and water supply. So this was the thing. So I was able to, though it was under a government kind of a setup, there was some element of it which was non-governmental to it, because it was the atmosphere was much more very conducive. So I was able to kind of get involved in lot of other aspects of the
project
activity. 99, I have seen an ad in the paper which basically called for a finance officer, and I met with a gentleman called Mr. Menon. Mr. Menon is the guy who conceived the idea of setting up this studio in TOONZ. He incidentally is the one who also set up UST Global.
Oh, really?
So yes, he's the. I think more than anything, I was moved with his personal philosophy. He believed that by providing job opportunities to people, he's doing a big social engineering.
Right.
And I can understand now, because when we started, artists, the maximum salary they can get is probably 3,000, 4,000. The big job is, probably a couple of media companies here hire them as staff cartoonist, or most of the time, they need to wait for an election to get, draw on boards and stuff like that. There was not kind of opportunities.
So much talent is available.
Correct. But now I see the life changes, and not only the life changes in their life, the changes in their families, and
right.
so I really understand that. So I decided to join, despite huge problems, because I was kind of recently married at that point in time. My wife, my family was dead against in me, kind of resigning from a government job,
right, that's
and getting into a private job. And those days, Technopark is also not very well known. Right. So it was, it was not an easy transformation for me to, kind of get into it. But I,
took the risk.
I took the risk,
and it paid.
Definitely paid. I think it was probably one of the, it was a challenging decision at that point in time.
You said at TOONZ you have doctors, you have engineers, you are a chartered accountant.
Sure.
So what would you like to say to people who are from traditional, let's say who follow traditional careers,
yes,
and want to break free?
Yeah, my finance background had a lot of value.
Right.
Because when you really greenlight a film, okay, two things, okay. One is you need to finish the film within the budget. You cannot, kind of cross the budget. You need to finish the film on time. And creative people, they are perfectionists. They wanted to, they will never be happy for the work they have done. They wanted to improve upon. There should be somebody who need to put their foot down and say, enough is enough. Right? There is a role for various people. For example, software engineers, we have a process called rigging, which is totally of software. Animation has a huge application on medical field, called medical animation.
Right.
But animation has a huge use in simulation in defense. When you really spent, multi-billion dollars of missile technology and all, you cannot experiment a missile. You do simulation in computers.
Right. You have worked your way to the top, which is difficult.
Sure.
But keeping yourself at the top, how difficult is that?
I think when you are in the higher orbit, keeping there is the biggest challenge.
Right.
I think for me, luckily, at every stage, the people whom I have worked helped me a lot. Probably it is just because of my personality. And I think when I really reach the CEO position, then it is all about, for me it is a huge responsibility.
Right.
For me, I think, we are talking about 400, 500 people and their families are depending on us. So for me, I need to succeed. I need to succeed for their benefit. I need to succeed for the common benefit of the company.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who are drawn by the glamour and glitter of
yes.
animation. And then later on they realize how tough it is.
Yes.
Do you have people like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Without really understanding, one, what is it all about and what are the basic skills required for it? Two, is there any good institutes there? Third, what do they want to become, right? There are a lot of people who come to us and who go for other institutes, and I would say around 50% of the people will never make it to animators. That this is not an 8-hour job. You know, when it comes to real time, I have people here, you know, sleep here, literally. Because you can't say that, okay, I will only work 8 hours. Because this is a very specific, you know, kind of thing. And at sometimes you have no job.
Being the person who, you know, manages such a crowd, I'm sure that, is there a meeting on your personal life?
I think so.
Okay.
I seriously always think that I'm missing some finest thing in my life, which is a family. But I think, you know, my family is a good family. You know, my wife is Bindu. She has been a teacher. When I married her, she quit her job for, you know, rearing kids. And then, you know, once the kids started going to school, she wanted to do something. So I took a franchisee of a courier company called Professional Couriers. So she's running a franchisee of that. 2 kids, Anand and Abhinand, both are at Christ Nagar School. Elder one is at 9th and younger one is at 7th. I think, you know, wherever possible, I spend quality time. Whatever time I spend with them, I make sure that it is quality time. So we are okay. You know, it's not the ideal world, but I think I have done justice to the extent I can.
Okay. Yes. Okay. We have a small rapid fire round, quick answers to quick questions.
Sure.
Okay. Right. So here's the first one. One word that best describes you.
Understanding.
Okay. What would set your pulse racing?
Gossip.
The food that would break your strictest diet.
Ice creams.
What gives you the most happiness at work?
If I get the desired result, what I aim for.
Your birthday?
1st of August.
Okay. What turns you off?
Negative resources, negative habits, you know, negative people.
One greatest joy in your personal life?
I think my family.
My world. What does that bring to mind?
It's very difficult to answer. My world is you know, between TOONZ and my family.
Okay.
It's my world.
Your favorite cartoon character?
Tom and Jerry.
Okay. Your sons?
Absolutely, same.
Okay. Thank you for making time for us and all those valuable insights. Here is a small token of appreciation.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And these are chocolates for your sons.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Negative and positive positive thing will be somebody's figure will be good, somebody's figure might not be good. What the people wearing in a particular place and a change. This is mix of fashion. Factors and it is fashion, trends and international style. And the boutique Bhavana visited. Bhavana liked my costumes, my designing thoughts, everything. But Bhavana is a Shafi in the movie. Bhavana independent select. So she gave me the chance to design for her.